You wake up, another day, another shot. You check your phone, maybe feel a little rush of motivation or guilt. You think, I've got to get serious today. But then, the clock starts eating you alive. Emails, texts, obligations. One task, another, something urgent, something unexpected. You blink and it's evening again. A blur of effort and distraction. A flicker of real intention, then back to the noise. You collapse into bed with that quiet whisper, tomorrow I'll really start. But what if tomorrow never comes? Let's look at the math. The average human lifespan? About 76 years worldwide. That's 28,000 days. If you're 25, you've already burned through 9,000 of them. If you're 35, you've got 15,000 days left if you're lucky. Now remove sleep. That's 1/3 of your life gone. About 9,000 days. Now subtract school, commuting, mindless scrolling, shallow small talk, people-pleasing, jobs you hate, obligations you didn't choose, emotional recovery from things you shouldn't have tolerated. You don't have 28,000 days. You have a few thousand golden hours in your whole life where you're truly present, truly you, and truly free. But no one tells you that. Because the world wants you chasing. They want you distracted, entertained, addicted. They want you optimizing your calendar, not questioning your direction. And so you run, you grind, you hustle. You think you're building a future? But what if you're just burning the present? The false security of youth. You think you have time, that's the lie. It's what every 80-year-old whispers when they look back. I thought I had more time. Not just for success, for stillness, for depth, for real connection, for staring at the stars, for hearing your heartbeat without the soundtrack of anxiety. You trade years of life for what? To impress people who aren't watching, to chase numbers that won't remember your name, to accumulate goals with no peace behind them. The real tragedy isn't dying poor. It's dying full of regrets. Let's talk probability. The odds of building $1 million business, less than 0.5% of entrepreneurs ever do it. The odds of becoming famous, less than 0.01%. The odds of becoming rich through your 9-to-5 job, almost zero unless you own equity or make high-risk investments. And yet millions sacrifice their entire youth for these odds. They sacrifice time with loved ones. They postpone happiness. They delay health, joy, art, play, meaning until one day. But most never arrive. Because here's the catch. Even if you win the game, you might hate who you become. The grind makes you impatient. The chase makes you numb. The tunnel vision kills your soul. The regret science. In a study of over 2,000 hospice patients, the top 5 regrets were not about failure. They were about neglecting what mattered. 1, I wish I'd lived a life true to myself. 2, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. 3, I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. 4, I wish I'd stayed in touch with friends. 5, I wish I'd let myself be happier. These aren't poetic slogans. They're the autopsies of unlived lives. And you can feel them already, can't you? That low hum in your chest when you waste another day. That silent guilt of ignoring your creativity. That ache when you scroll past photos of your past self lighter, freer, more whole. But don't numb it, feel it, let it guide you. Because that pain, it's a compass. The biology of blindness. Why don't people change? Because the brain rewards movement, not fulfillment. Dopamine spikes for what's next, not what's now. That's why you feel more alive chasing goals than celebrating them. Why success feels empty when you get there. Your biology isn't broken, it's just wired for survival, not satisfaction. In the wild, it kept us alive. In modern life, it keeps us busy, always planning, preparing, scanning, comparing, but rarely being. This is why high performers burn out. This is why ambitious people often feel hollow. This is why discipline alone won't save you. Because you're sprinting inside a maze built by the same instincts that once saved your life, but now steal it. You don't need more time, you need more awareness. It's not about working harder. It's about waking up. You're not just wasting hours. You're training your soul to tolerate mediocrity. You're building a nervous system that's addicted to stress. You're creating a future where you achieve a lot, but feel nothing. Stop. Breathe. Look around. This moment, this one right here, it's real, it's yours, and it's dying as you read this. So ask yourself, if I died tomorrow, what would I regret? If I had 1 year left, how would I spend it? If I could feel alive today, what would I stop postponing? And maybe most importantly, why am I still waiting? This isn't fear-mongering. It's your wake-up call. Not to abandon your goals, but to realign them. To ask, Is what I'm building actually worth my life? Because that's what time is. It's your life. And every time you say, I'll do it later, you're gambling a piece of it on a tomorrow that isn't promised. Let's shift from pressure to precision, from panic to presence, from the illusion of progress to the reality of meaning. You've been trained to sprint without asking where you're going. But clarity? Clarity is rare. It's expensive. It costs everything you've used to distract yourself. Your addiction to busy, your comfort in confusion, your need for approval. But if you want to live a life that isn't just full but yours, you have to cut through the noise. The danger of delayed aliveness. You think there's a right time to start living. That someday when you're successful enough, free enough, respected enough, you'll give yourself permission to feel joy, to play, to rest, to love without guarding your heart. But that's not a timeline, that's a trap. Because aliveness isn't a reward, it's a skill. And if you don't practice it now, you won't suddenly know how to do it when your schedule clears or your bank account swells. You'll just replace one cage with another, one performance with a new one mask for another mask. What you delay becomes foreign. What you rehearse becomes automatic. So ask yourself, what are you rehearsing right now? The timeline shock. How soon it's over. Let's get brutal for a second. If you're 30 and you live to 80, you have 50 years left. Seems okay, right? But now subtract the years when you'll be old enough that energy is low, so friends and family pass away. Health complications limit freedom. Now factor in that only about 4,000 of those days, about 11 years, worth will be truly free. Days where your body, mind, and time are completely your own. Now, subtract the hours eaten by scrolling, emails, noise, rushing, overwhelm, worry, numbness. You don't have time, you have moments, and most are already on fire. The real metric of a life well lived. It's not how much you did, it's how much of it was chosen. Most people live by momentum, not design. They wake up and react to the day. They serve others' agendas. They check boxes they didn't write. They inherit dreams. They copy blueprints. But here's the twist. The greatest freedom is self-authorship. And that means letting go of expectations that aren't yours, roles you didn't ask for, goals that don't excite you, a hustle that makes you numb. It means asking, what would I still do if no one clapped? It means living a life you don't have to escape from. It means waking up and recognizing yourself, not just your to-do list. Your body remembers everything you don't. All those moments when you ignored yourself, when you pushed through instead of slowing down, when you stayed silent instead of speaking up, they didn't disappear. They went somewhere, into your nervous system, into your breath, into your posture, into your tone. Your body is the diary you didn't write, and one day it starts speaking, through burnout, through fatigue, through apathy. The antidote? Don't wait until it screams. Start listening when it whispers. You've been trying to win a race with no finish line. You chase the next milestone, then the next. You tell yourself, when I hit that, then I'll feel okay. But here's the neurological trap. Dopamine only spikes for what's next. So the closer you get to a goal, the faster the joy evaporates. It's called anticipation collapse. The more you chase, the less you feel. The cure isn't apathy. It's building your life around engagement, not escape. Around things that pull you in, not just impress others. Purpose is not a prize. It's the process you build when you stop living on autopilot. 3 questions that will change your next 10 years. 1. What am I tolerating that's quietly killing me? 2. What have I postponed that would make me feel alive? 3. What am I doing because I'm afraid to disappoint someone else? Don't answer with your brain. Answer with your body. What tightens, what softens, what stings? The truth lives there. This isn't a death warning. It's a life invitation. You won't get today back, but you don't need to. You just need to start owning what comes next. With your eyes open, with your breath slow, with your feet rooted in your own values. That's the moment the chase ends. That's when the real journey begins. You've been programmed to stay busy, to stay productive, to stay numb. But now you've woken up. The clock isn't your enemy anymore. It's your compass, and what you choose from here will define everything.